So our first speaker, and if I mispronounce the name, please correct me, Mr. Sam Koplinka Loehr. Close enough. All right, my brother. Mr. Sam is a graduate of Middlebury College in Vermont with a major in environmental justice. His research and writing focuses on community empowerment, indigenous solidarity, and environmental justice. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone who made today possible. It is an honor to be here to share with others from around the world about the true costs of the Iraq War. In particular, thank you to everybody who had fierce words today and demands for justice, yourself included. While we bear witness today to the atrocities of war, we must work tomorrow to take direct action for a more just and peaceful world. I'm going to change things up a little bit with my testimony here. I invite you back to 6th grade, a few months before the U.S. invasion of Iraq. There is frost on the windows of our maroon minivan. We are packed in tight, legs pressed together as we drive down to Washington, D.C. for the protest. We pile out of the car and join the hundreds of thousands of other people in the streets. Feet pound the pavement mile after mile, chants shouted at the top of our lungs. "Mom, are we done yet?" I ask. "Can we go home? Has Bush heard us yet?" The police rise up like a wall, telling us, "You can't go this way. Stay on the highlighted route." Our discontent corralled. Let them protest, just don't go near the president. Let them protest as long as they keep paying their taxes. Let them protest as long as they don't stop the planes from taking off. It is St. Patrick's Day, 2003, days before we are set to invade Iraq. I hear that our family friends have been arrested. They entered a military recruiting office and spread their blood in protest. There is blood on the American flag, and our friends are in prison. The war begins. The television is brought up from downstairs. Antennas move back and forth to clear the fuzzy screen. A flash of light for every bomb that is dropped thousands of miles away. So-called shock and awe, the politicians want us to believe that it is a fireworks display on the 4th of July, not an illegal massacre. I feel sick to my stomach. The next day I go to school and I hear that an Iraqi school was just bombed. It continues, 1 million dead. Our school brings a veteran on tour. He says he led an elite unit of Marines in SWAT-style raids of people's homes. The lines between the military and the police blur. I learn that the Department of Defense is transferring leftover military equipment to police departments here to be used against black and brown bodies in the streets. The war drags on with $500,000 spent every minute, $720 million every day. This is what it costs to murder millions of black and brown people. There are posters in the school hallway. They say the cost of one day of the Iraq War could buy homes for 6,500 families, health care for 423,529 children. One day could pay the annual salaries of 13,000 school teachers. I talked to my aunt. She refuses to pay taxes because it goes to war, and she gives money to community organizations instead. I think about it and decide that if I ever make enough money when I grow up, I will refuse to pay taxes as well, because it goes to wars, prisons, and the police. It's 2016, and I'm talking with a friend about consent and our experiences as survivors of sexual violence. She tells me that her military recruiter raped her. We go to the March Against Rape Culture. And a veteran talks about being raped in the military. Women are more likely to be sexually assaulted in the armed forces than die in combat. I'm hearing from friends and comrades at the Standing Rock Sioux Nation. They are there protecting the water from a company that wants to build a pipeline through sacred land. The police are using military-grade tanks and weapons on the people there, and Tiger Swan, the so-called security firm for the Dakota Access Pipeline, operates in Iraq and Afghanistan as well. The war zone is where they make the war zone. How do you measure the costs of a war? Do you count the number of dead, tally up the dollars spent? Is it the number of people who are refugees, the number of sisters who have been assaulted, the number of brothers shot down in our streets with M16s? Is it how many people protested, went to jail, or refused paying taxes to our oppressive government? How do you measure the costs of a war when it won't end? Thank you.